Today we'll be working in my workbook called Preparing to Leave Mount Sinai. This is on chapters 5 through 9. Chapters 1 through 9 in the book of Numbers has to do with preparing to leave Mount Sinai. And so this is the last part of that. Looking at here, we're kind of back and forth in this area of the first and second month before they leave. Because in these chapters 6 through 9, Moses has actually gone back to the first month to cover some things he didn't cover at the time. So looking at our table of contents, we've had a number of vows and laws that God had set up. Then we have the famous priestly blessing. And then the offerings for the service of the tabernacle and the dedication and use of the bronze brazen altar. These all happen in the first month after they were built. And so that's why what I was saying is Moses actually goes back to tell us these things. And the same with the lighting of the lamps and the Levites, lighting of the lamps and the Levites is all set up in the first month, right after the tabernacle has been created. It's been dedicated, and the priests and Levites get ordained. And then they have their second Passover. So we know then that's a full year after Egypt. We're now in the second year, yeah, because the year starts at Passover. So now we're going to do the last chapter, the cloud and the fire. Again, that still happened in the first month of rather than the second month. The cloud and the fire, Numbers 9, 15 through 23.
On the day the tabernacle, the tent of the covenant law, was set up, the cloud covered it from evening till morning. The cloud above the tabernacle looked like fire. That is how it continued to be. The cloud covered it, and at night it looked like fire. That would be an amazing sight to see.
Yeah. And you think about it, and you think, and this is going to happen in the future too, but they can see that God is right with them. How would they not know that God is going to be taking care of them?
Yeah.
This chapter could have been included in my next book, which has the Israelites start to leave Mount Sinai, but it matches so well with Exodus 40 that I left it here in the preparation to leave Mount Sinai book. When did the cloud cover the tabernacle?
The covenant law was set up.
Looking at the timeline on page 35 through 38, what day, month, year was the tabernacle set up?
First day, first month, second year.
Right. Yeah. What did the cloud look like during the night?
Pillar of fire.
And what did it change to during the day?
Pillar of cloud.
Was this the first time that the people saw the pillar of fire or cloud?
No.
What did the pillar of fire or cloud represent?
The Lord will guide his people.
Yeah, did the pillar of cloud fire ever leave the people while they were at Mount Sinai? Not necessarily. God moved to the Mount Sinai, known as the Mountain of God, until the tabernacle was set up, and then he moved to the tabernacle. So if you recall, when they left Egypt, it was in front of them, leading them.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So then when they get to Mount Sinai, it moves to the mountain. Once the tabernacle is built, then it comes back down to the tabernacle.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So cool. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever the cloud lifted from above the tent, the Israelites set out. Whenever the cloud settled, the Israelites encamped. At the Lord's command, the Israelites set out, and at his command, they encamped. As long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle, they remained in camp.
In these last few verses of Numbers chapter 9, we'll be reminded about the actions of this pillar cloud fire just before they leave for the promised land. If the pillar of cloud fire lifted from the tabernacle, what should the Israelites prepare to do?
Set out wherever the cloud settled, they are encamped.
Right. If the pillar cloud fire settled, where were the camps? What were the Israelites to do?
Be encamped.
Does it say how long they'd be at each encampment?
No, as long as the cloud stayed over
Right.
the tabernacle.
There will be no consistency as to how long they are at each encampment. Does
No.
it say how far they will travel between encampments?
Oh, no.
No, there will be no consistently as to how long the travel was between the encampments. Does it say how long it took for all the Israelites to be on the move?
No.
When they were traveling, the pillar cloud fire was ahead of them. When it stopped, the encampment settled. Since the camps of the east were in the front, it's logical that where the pillar stopped is where they would camp, or east of that direction, since they were often traveling north. Then all the camps in tent of meeting would be stationed in their positions, and then the pillar would move to be over the tabernacle once it's set up.
When the cloud remained over the tabernacle a long time, the Israelites obeyed the Lord's order and did not set out. Sometimes the cloud was over the tabernacle only a few days. At the Lord's command, they would encamp, and then at his command, they would set out.
According to these scriptures, was there a consistent amount of time that the Israelites stayed in one location?
No.
So the mobilization process, according to Numbers 10, the movement was not a chaotic scramble, but a phased departure governed by specific signals. A, the signal. Priests blew short blasts on two hammered silver trumpets, which we'll be talking about in the next chapter, to signal the breaking of camp. First phase, the tribes on the east, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, set out first. Second phase, following the first division, the Gershonites and the Maronites set out, carrying the disassembled tabernacle structure. Third phase, a second alarm signaled the tribes on the south side, Reuben, Simeon, and Gad, to move. Fourth phase, the Kohathites followed, carrying the sacred sanctuary furniture like the ark, positioned so that the tabernacle would be set up at the next site before they arrived. Last phase, the remaining tribes from the west and the north followed, ending with the tribe of Naphtali as a rear guard.
Wow.
And this would happen, they didn't know at the time, of course, but this is going to happen for another 38 years.
Wow. Sometimes the cloud stayed only from evening till morning, and when it lifted in the morning, they set out, whether by day or by night. Whenever the cloud lifted, they set out. Whether the cloud stayed over the tabernacle for 2 days or a month or a year, the Israelites would remain in camp and not set out. But when it lifted, they would set out.
So obviously Moses wrote a lot of this after the fact. Otherwise, he wouldn't know all these things. How short could a stay in one location be?
Evening till morning.
Could the pillar of cloud fire move away from the tabernacle during the night?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they would have to watch it day and night to say, uh-oh, he's moving us. Because realistically, if you have all these people moving, somebody's going to be traveling at night.
Yeah.
You know, there's just no way I could see. I never had anywhere that told us when the first one left, how long it was before the last one moved. I never got that. Could the pillar of Okay, after leaving Mount Sinai, the Israelites' next major significant stop on their journey toward the Promised Land was the wilderness of Paran, with the primary encampment of Kadesh Barnea. The journey from Sinai to the area of Kadesh Barnea took roughly 3 months. Normally, this would have been an 11-day journey, according to Deuteronomy 1.1, about 220 to 250 miles. According to Numbers 33, 16 through 18, some intermediate smaller stops listed between Sinai and the Kadesh area included Kabroth, Hava, Hazeroth, and Rithmah. What was their first significant stop after Mount Sinai?
Kadesh Barnea.
How long will it take them?
3 months.
How far is it from Mount Sinai to Kadesh Barnea?
220 to 250 miles.
Therefore, if they traveled the same speed every day, then they would cover about 2.5 miles a day, and that is without stopping. So perhaps 5 miles a day with a day of rest. I don't know. This is just too complicated to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the Lord's command, they encamped, and at the Lord's command, they set out. They obeyed the Lord's order in accordance with his command through Moses.
And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah, and that was